system is our body's natural defense to protect us from harmful viruses, bacteria, and other pathogens. Immune system also helps body to heal from infections and injuries by repairing damaged tissues and fighting harmful germs. The main component of immune system is white blood cell, lymphatic system, spleens, and also antibodies. SARS-CoV-2 is a virus that causes COVID-19. It spread to cough, sneeze, and breath by an infected persons. The virus usually enter the body through the nose, mouth, or eyes. The symptoms of the virus are fever, cough, sore throat, and also the loss of smell or taste. Once the virus enter the body, it attaches to the human cells like lungs. Then it enters the cell and make many copies of itself.
Now, I will be covering about the innate immune response. First of all, what is the innate immune response? The innate immune response is the body's first and fastest defense against pathogens. It is non-specific, and the response will respond to the same way with any type of pathogens. It acts almost immediately, and it usually takes within minutes to hours. The first line of defense. There are three types of physical barriers that is in the first line of defense. First is the skin. The skin is a physical barrier that is tough and waterproof. The outer layer, which is also known as the epidermis, they can block the entry of pathogens. It produces oils and sweats that is capable to inhibit microbial growth. Next, we have the mucous membrane. They are usually found in respiratory, digestive, urinary, and reproductive tracts, such as nose, mouth, lungs, and trachea. They can trap pathogens with the sticky mucus. Next, we have cilia. Cilia are tiny hair-like structures that are found in respiratory tract that sweeps out microbes out of the body via sneezing or coughing. Next, the second line of defense. The second line of defense consists of the phagocytic white blood cells or macrophages. They are larger and longer lived phagocytes that engulfs and digest pathogens. They also display antigens to activate other immune cells and produce cytokine to regulate immune responses. Next, there's also inflammations. Inflammations is when increased blood flow will happen to the infected area, causing classic redness, swelling, and also pain. Inflammation brings more immune cells and nutrients to the infected area for effective healing and complete eradication of the pathogens. Most importantly, how does innate immune response work? Let's talk about the first line of defense. The first line of defense, where the skin will act as a main barrier, even if a bacteria lands on it, they cannot get in because the outer layer is covered with keratin. When the skin is cut, the skin barrier is broken. Now, the bacteria will have a direct path inside. When in the respiratory tract, pathogens will be trapped by the mucus produced, leading to the reflex actions such as coughing and sneezing. In the second line of defense, phagocytosis occurs. Inflammatory response shortly happens, vasodilation occurs, and more phagocytes move to the infected area to destroy the pathogens. Skin will start to look red and swell, and it will feel warm to the touch and feels very painful. Usually, fever will ensue after a while. The hypothalamus will cause the body's temperature to increase, which helps in slowing down the growth of the bacteria and speeds up the immune reactions.
Now we will be talking about the adaptive immune response in terms of humoral immunity. First of all, the B cell activation and the antibody production. The B cells will detect antigens, for example the SARS-CoV-2 spike protein, using surface B cell receptors, also known as BCRs. The antigen is then internalized, processed, and then presented on MH2 molecules. Helper T cells will recognize the MH2 antigen complex and provide activation signals. The activated B cells will undergo things such as clonal expansion, differentiation into plasma cells, class switching to produce different antibody types, and affinity maturation in order to produce high affinity antibodies. The plasma cells will secrete large quantities of antibodies specific to the viral antigen. Next, we will talk about how antibodies neutralize SARS-CoV-2. The antibodies will bind to the spike protein, blocking its attachment to the ACE2 receptors on host cells. This prevents viral entry, stopping infection at an early stage. Two processes will occur, which is agglutination and also opsonization. In terms of agglutination, antibodies will clump viral particles together for easier removal. And in terms of opsonization, the virus is tagged for phagocytosis by macrophages. The complement proteins are activated, which leads to viral destruction, and the viral replication is prevented by blocking key viral structures or enzymes. Moreover, we will talk about memory B cells in terms of long-term infection. Some activated B cells become memory B cells instead of plasma cells. They remain in lymphoid tissues for years or decades. They provide rapid, stronger antibody response upon re-exposure to SARS-CoV-2, and they are a basis for vaccine-induced long-term immunity. Now I will talk about the steps of antibody production and neutralization. There are 7 steps. First, the antigen recognition by B cell. Second, the helper T cell activation of the B cell. Third, the clonal expansion. Fourth, the plasma cell differentiation. Fifth, the antibody secretion. Sixth, the antibody binding to the SARS-CoV-2. And seventh is the neutralization, which is blocking the spike ACE2 interaction.
This slide explains how these cells are activated in cell-mediated immunity. First, antigen-presenting cells like macrophage or dendritic cells encounter pathogen and display its antigen using MHC2. Helper T cells recognize this antigen through their T cell receptor and become activated. Once activated, they release cytokines that help activate cytotoxic T cells and support B cells. For cytotoxic T cells, infect body cells present antigens using MHC1. Cytotoxic T cells recognize this and activate and begin multiplying, so they are ready to kill infect cells. Cytotoxic T cells destroy infect cells by binding tightly to them. They release perforin, which creates spores and enzymes, which trigger apoptosis. As a result, the infect cell is destroyed and the virus can replicate. Helper T cells also assist B cells by sending activation signals. This allows B cells to produce antibodies against the same pathogen. On this slide, I will explain what COVID-19 vaccines do. COVID-19 vaccines introduce the SARS-CoV-2 spike protein safely, allowing our immune system to recognize the virus before real infection. How the body respond? After vaccination, APCs detect the spike protein and activate helper T cells. These T cells signal B cells to produce antibodies, and the body form memory B and T cell for long-term protection. How it affects after vaccination? When the real COVID-19 virus enters, antibodies neutralize it quickly and memory T cell destroy infected cell faster. This helps prevent severe symptoms, pneumonia, hospitalization, and death. COVID-19 vaccines. There are 3 main types of COVID-19 vaccines. mRNA vaccines like Pfizer and Moderna inactivated virus, vaccines like Sinovac, and viral vector vaccines such as AstraZeneca. Why COVID-19 vaccination is important? Vaccination builds strong protection against SARS-CoV-2, reduce virus spread, and protect high-risk groups. It also prevents several complications like lung damage and cytokine storm.
In conclusion, the battle between severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2 and the human body highlights the incredible complexity and strength of our immune system. When the virus enters the body, the innate immune system responds first, attempting to slow down viral replication. As the infection progresses, the adaptive immune system takes over, activating B cells to produce targeted antibodies and T cells to destroy infected cells. This coordinated response is what ultimately allows the body to eliminate the virus. Vaccination strengthens this defense even further by training the adaptive immune system before infection occurs. Through exposure to harmless viral components, vaccines stimulate the production of memory B and T cells, enabling the body to respond faster and more effectively. As a result, vaccinated individuals have reduced severity of illness, lower transmission risks, and stronger long-term protection. Overall, the outcome of the battle depends on how quickly and efficiently the immune system responds. But with the help of vaccine, the body gains a powerful advantage. The immune system and vaccination together form the strongest shield against COVID-19. Vaccination and the immune system work hand in hand to protect us. Together, they win the fight. That's all from us. Thank you.